Hello friends, I'm out in my chicken yard and I have a question that I am going to answer for you. What scrap foods can you feed to your chickens? So I get this question a lot. I always encourage people to remember that we have had a symbiotic relationship with chickens where they eat what we have wasted for thousands of years. That has literally been what has propelled chickens throughout the ages, and they're doing pretty well. They've done well on this agreement. So with that in mind, I want you to just focus on, first of all, giving them a base layer of their feed because for production breeds, you will get the most resilience from them if they have a base layer of chicken feed. That's not to say giving them an entire diet of scraps is a bad thing. I think that's okay if that's what you can do. For the most production and for their reproductive systems to stay healthy, you want to, if you can, give them a base layer of their feed. Now, as far as scraps goes, I just say, be balanced about it. If you have a good, wholesome diet, then your chickens are going to have a good, wholesome diet. I would not give chickens anything that is obviously bad, like something that is rotten. That being said, some chickens have access to the compost pile and they do okay. But I think especially if your chickens are in an enclosed run, if you give them something that is rotten, they're more likely to eat it versus chickens that are free range, which are they just retain more of that savviness to know what to eat and what not to eat. There are a lot of foods that I see listed to never give your chickens. One of them is avocados. I see citrus fruits on that list. I've seen onions and garlic on that list. As far as avocado goes, my family's from Guatemala. There are tons of chickens in Guatemala eating avocados, trust me. But they're not eating the skin and they're not eating the pit. Most chickens will know not to eat those things. For citrus, that is not necessarily bad for your chickens, but there is a thought that, eating a lot of it, it might affect their laying. So they might lay less if they eat a lot of it. Onions and garlic, your chickens would really have to eat a lot of onions and garlic for it to be bad for them, okay? And some things can be therapeutic in a smaller dose and not good in a larger dose, but the type of dose they would need of onions that would affect them negatively would be very high and very unusual for your chickens to get that from something that you're just feeding them, like some kitchen scraps that you're feeding them. I wouldn't worry too much about those things. Coffee, chocolate cake, a bunch of junk food, they might not be as resilient if they're eating that, okay? So I hope that answers your question and puts you a little bit at ease. Try not to make it too complicated, and remember, we've had this relationship with chickens for a really long time, and it's worked out for both humans and chickens.